Hey guys, this is Veggie Bag, and I'm going to be showing you a quick video on how to maintain your inline regulator on your Ball Blonde Victory. As you can see, I already have the grip frame off and the battery removed from other maintenance I did earlier, and I might show videos of that later if you guys request it or anything. So for now, I'm just going to show you how to do the regulator because that's what some people are having problems with. And one moment, just bear with me while my camera focuses just to make sure everything's going properly. Alright, there we go. So, first off, what you're going to need is you're going to need a small pair of pliers. Very small is probably good. This is them in relation to your grips. That's how big the ones I use. You're going to need lube of your choice. I use Planet Eclipse lube, and you're going to need a few squares of toilet paper just for cleaning up old lube. Alright, to start off, counterclockwise, you unscrew the reg. Now up here, you're going to see all that stuff in there. Don't touch that. It says in the manual that there is no need to ever touch or ever remove or maintain a working valve system. So if it's working, don't even try to put anything in it. No lube, nothing. This is the part you're going to be dealing with. So you're going to look inside. What you're going to see is you're going to see that little silver pin sticking out of there. This is where you're going to need your very small pliers. Very carefully and gently, you're going to reach in there. Just going to grab a hold of it really nicely and just slide it straight back, and that's what's going to pop out. You can set that aside. Now also inside there you're going to see a stack of, your stack of they call them springs, but what do I call them? I call them shims, sorry. And you're just going to turn it upside down nice and gently, and your stack's going to fall out there, and inside there it's just going to be completely empty. So what you've got here, I'm going to just focus really close on this one, just give me a second. So what we got here is, sorry, one second, wrong setting. There we go, manual focus. What you got here is your shim stack, and I can't remember exactly what Ball Blonde calls this. I think it's a spacer maybe, but it's a spacer, and it holds all your shims, and it's all big one piece, and it's held together with an O-ring up there. If I can focus on that, no, right there. You can see the little black O-ring. So that's your shim stack. There's not too much that you have to do with the shim stack. I usually just put a tiny little bit of lube right around there, and that's pretty much it. So this part here does start to get a little bit dirty. Sorry, let me just find the perfect focus place. So what I usually like to do with most of my O-rings when I'm doing a complete clean is you squeeze it and you're able to pull the O-ring right off. So you got your O-ring and you got the empty little space there. Set that aside. Just make sure the O-ring's nice and clean. If there's any dirt on it or anything bad, just grab a little bit of your toilet paper and just make sure it's all nice and dry. You can re-lube it after. So there you go, that's your O-ring, all good. Next, I already did this once, so you guys won't really see too much lubricant or dirty grease anywhere. Next, you take this thing, take a little roll of toilet paper, just scrunch it up, and make sure you get all the old grease and everything out of that big groove there. Also, see how it's still dirty? I'm just going to make sure I get it all. Alright there, so I got all the old grease, and inside there it's still nice and shiny. You don't need to fix anything in there, and that's basically how you clean that part. Now you can take your O-ring and slip it back into that groove. Slip it back into the groove. Now you can take your grease, which I said I use my Planet Eclipse grease, and just get nice and a decent amount. Like I usually put little blobs like that. Sorry, like I was saying, my camera kind of cut out on me there. You just usually put blobs like that all the way around. Yeah, that's gross. There you go. My fingers look disgusting that close. Anyways, you just go like that, and then you can just rub it all the way around. Make sure you get everything. Just go like that and twist this just to make sure everything gets a nice little coating of grease. And it says in the manual, what you'll notice is that the groove in there gets a little bit of extra grease inside that little groove, and it creates a extra amount of grease so that it doesn't have to be relubed as often. So that's basically that. Sorry guys, I don't know why my camera keeps deciding that it's just gonna stop recording. Doesn't really make sense to me. Anyways, you get the grease on there, and you make sure there's enough, not too much, you don't have to overdo it. I'm gonna put a little bit more, and just make sure it's all spread around like that. You can set that aside. Next, you take your shim stack. Get a little bit of your grease, place it on your finger. That's actually quite a bit for what we need it for. I really don't need that much, so I'm just gonna put a little bit back on there. Really, that's all you need, just a little bit there. And you can put just the slightest little bit on that first O-ring there, sorry. Just a little bit on there. Try not to get it on the shim. And you can roll it around, just make sure you get everything. It's okay if it's a little bit messy, it all goes to a similar spot when you're done. So that's what mine looks like, all finished up. Right there, I just got some grease on that. Just get some grease on that O-ring. And now, last step. Last one of my steps at least, I don't know how everybody else does it. I'll just set these aside for now. Take one square of your toilet paper, wrap it around your finger so you have basically just a finger covered in it, and I stick it in there. I just make sure I get everything, all that dirty crap out of there. If you got big fingers like me, you might want to use a smaller finger like your pinky, just so you know you get all the way to the bottom. Just twist it around, make sure you touch all the walls and you get a flat surface of your pinky all the way around. And you see I got some dirt out of there. Now, reassembly, shim stack. This solid bottom end goes first into your reg. Just drop it in, it'll slide all the way down to the bottom. Next you take this and this piece right here, which you can see that it has the little tube on top. That stays pointing upwards towards the sky, and you can drop that in, just tap it down. Try to make sure it goes down nice and level and straight, and just go until you find resistance at the bottom. And that's how you maintain your inline regulator. You can take your Bob Long Victory and just screw it back on. That was close, almost dropped it when I was looking at the camera. Alright, just give it a screw back on. Also, there is one little O-ring right there. There's one O-ring right up there. You can lube it, but I believe that's just to create a good seal for when you're screwing your regulator on. So I'm just going to put a little bit on there and just rub it around. You really don't need much there, not too much air. It gets passed through all the threads and everything. So screw that right back on until it's snug, wipe away any excess grease, and that is maintenance for your Bob Long Victory inline high pressure regulator. Thanks guys, this is Veggie Bag once again. If you liked this video and you want to see some more, please give me a shout in the comments or personal message me. I'll always try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next time.